I'm sure you've heard the saying, fear of public speaking is so prevalent that most people would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. A joke made famous by Jerry Seinfeld, who is a fantastic comedian. However, I'd like to dig a little deeper, if you don't mind me saying, into this idea that fear of public speaking is scarier, like that public speaking is scarier than death, that fear of public speaking is bigger than the fear of death. I don't think this is true. I think we think about public speaking more than we think about death because it happens to us a lot more often. Death tends to only happen to you once in your life for most people. A lot of us do a lot of public speaking. So it's a more day-to-day fear. But also it's not really the speaking in public that we're scared of. It goes deeper. And that's why I want to dig into it a little bit because it's not really the fear of standing up in front of people and speaking. We speak all day, we speak in public all day. This formalized version of speaking in public puts a lot of pressure on us in a way that exposes some extremely deep fundamental fears. The fear of standing out, being different from the crowd, being ostracized, being attacked, being vulnerable in a way that someone might be when they're standing on the scaffold ready to be hanged, the way someone might feel when they're being ostracized from a group and shunned out of a community. It's a very deep, primal fear. The fear of being judged, the fear of being wrong, the fear of standing out in a way that says, you don't belong. Now, when we think about it like that, it's a little bit different because as public speakers, as business owners, as someone who has a message to share, we do want to stand out. And this is why the fear of public speaking is so interesting because half of us is going, oh, I want to stand out. I want to be different. I want everyone to see me. And half of us is saying, I don't want to be seen. I want to be safe. I want to hide in the crowd in my anonymity. And this is the big conflict that we have. It's not really, I don't want to stand on stage. It's, I don't want to be exposed because I think we all have an inner life that we don't necessarily share with everyone. And it has become very normal for us to compartmentalize what's going on internally, how we are at home or in private compared to how we are professionally. This is a very normal compartmentalization. And when we compartmentalize, even if we are congruent and the same person at work and at home, the fact that we separate them makes us feel like maybe there's something to hide, like maybe there's something to be discovered or exposed. And when we are truly present on stage, when we are effective speakers, we are unself conscious, which means we're not in control. It means we're not controlling this facade, this face that we're putting out to the world. And that means that we are exposed or vulnerable because people can see us. We're talking about something that's important to us so they can see our desires and our fears and our dreams. We are vulnerable in that we are exposed in our truth. So, getting up on stage, when you haven't done that internal work of, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, I know what makes me different, I know which parts of me I'm compartmentalizing, and I know why I want to stand out from the crowd, and that standing out is okay. When I know who I am, and there's nothing I'm trying to pretend to be, I'm not trying to pretend to be confident, I'm not pretending to know more than I do, to have more experience than I do. When I am being who I am, where I am, there's no mask to rip away. There's no conflicting data to expose. And so the fear doesn't need to exist. I think a lot of us don't think about this enough. And we have this ingrained idea that public speaking is scary and it's normal for it to be scary. And so we're scared of it. But really, we're just unexamined. We're a little self conscious. We're not aware of the congruences and the compartmentalizations and the things that we don't want people to see, or we are aware of the things that we don't want people to see and we are pretending. And then maybe we have a little bit of work to do before we get up on stage. Maybe that's something that needs to happen because you can't be a good speaker if you're pretending to be someone else, if you're pretending to know more than you do. There are always going to be cracks. That mask will crack and you will be seen. But when you know who you are, when you know what you stand for, when you know what's important about getting up on stage and that it's not you, you are just the wrapping paper for the message. So your haircut or the dress you've chosen or your tie, whatever, it doesn't actually matter that much. When we know those things, when we're solid in that, what is there to be scared of?